Hello once again to the Chase Aerospace Gaming channel. It's been a while since I've made a video about Star Citizen, and that is because the development kind of slowed down, or at least news kind of slowed down, and things that really piqued my interest weren't coming along quite as often. But I've got to tell you, the Gamescom 2016 presentation that just happened absolutely blew my mind, and I have to make a video about it because I'm so excited about the things that they talked about, especially the demo. The demo is really what made this presentation, as is the case with most Star Citizen presentations. But I'm just going to go through very quickly what happened at the beginning, like before the presentation, or before the demo, and then I'll do some commentary on the demo, because the demo is freaking awesome. Alright, so let's do this. So Star Citizen Alpha 2.5 is really close, probably going to happen this week, is what Chris made it sound like. I'm pretty sure it's a safe bet to hold him to it. So let's go ahead and say this week. They're adding basically an outlaw space station, some ship landing system upgrades. They're changing the way like landing ships works. Then some audio improvements and some other stuff. It's kind of a tiny update. Then they're also adding two new flyable ships, the Misk Reliant and the Argo. And I actually hadn't heard of the Argo before this, probably because I've been kind of being pretty lazy about following Star Citizen's development. But yeah, the Argo looks really nice. I'm actually excited for that one. I'm not super excited for the Misk Reliant. It looks like a pretty cool ship, but I'm not totally pumped about it. It's cool. Someone out there will like it. Not my cup of tea. Anyways, moving on. Then he started talking about Star Citizen Alpha 2.6, and everyone's like, "Whoa, 2.6? What's that?" It's Star Marine. They're finally bringing Star Marine back, and they've been talking about this for a little while. It's been confirmed for a while that it would probably be 2.6 or 2.7, and according to this presentation, it's 2.6. And I know everyone's super excited about that. We thought we would have Star Marine a long time ago, but it just didn't happen. It kept getting pushed back, and it's now in the pipeline again, chalked up for 2.6. And so just taking a look at a couple of the bullet points for Star Marine's addition to the game. They're going to have that 0G tactical combat, FPS weaponry remastery. They're going for the tactical feel in combat, not necessarily super fast paced like Call of Duty, but more like slow. Think about what you're doing. You do have a lot of health, though. I've noticed from playing a little bit of FPS. In the PU, or whatever we're calling it right now, the baby PU before, like the alpha PU, I guess. Like you can kind of take a beating. It takes a lot of bullets to bring someone down, I guess, relative to other games that I've played. So they might have to tweak that a little bit to really get the pacing that they want, but I don't know, I'm just kind of talking right now. They'll figure it out. Then Arena Commander's going to get some love for the first time in a while. Looks like they're adding a new racetrack, new multiplayer deathmatch arena. That'll be interesting, but nothing too major right there. Then they, as is traditional, they announced a concept sail. This time it's the Envil Terrapin, and from the screenshot, it kind of looks like the Millennium Falcon, which I thought was pretty cool, but then you see some shots from other angles, and not so much. It just kind of looks like a turtle. But yeah, so on to Alpha 3.0. This is the big deal, the big news. I'm super excited about this, so I'm just gonna kind of roll through here, let it play, and do some commentary on the side. So we're starting out here just before they actually get into the spaceship. They're going to be flying in a Freelancer. This is a gorgeous ship. I actually have a friend who has one of these, so I'm gonna try to talk him into letting me ride shotgun. We'll try and run the demo course, see if we can duplicate it. And this door didn't work before, so everyone in the audience was super excited that they're showing that it actually works in the demo.
All right, come on, there you go.
Some emotes to make fun of it.
All right. Okay, let's get in our co-pilot seat and look over. There you go. Okay, let's.
And they've upgraded the HUD a little bit. Yeah, it looks really nice. It kind of reminds me of like an airliner, like a commercial airliner, just really spread out dashboard, I guess, for lack of a better word, control panel, like really big cockpit. I like the feel of it. Super solid. Cringe alert. This was supposed to be a scripted moment where they look at each other, and Chris is reminding the other Chris to look over. Super cringe. He forgot to look at the other guy. It was supposed to be a magical moment where they look at each other. Gag. But yeah, so this star map, this is the first time we've actually seen the star map being used in game like this. So we have it on the web, and now they're trying to incorporate it into the ship systems. You can kind of hear Chris. I've got the volume turned down, but you can. Chris says that it's going to be updated and made more aesthetically pleasing. This is a kind of a rough draft of what it's going to be in the end. But yeah, you can zoom in and look at all the moons and stuff, and you can. It's actually interactable to the extent that you can actually click on the planet you want to warp to, and your ship will orient itself in that direction and warp there, or jump there, quantum jump, which they'll demonstrate in just a second.
Quantum travel. Double click on that.
Beautiful. This is a screenshot opportunity right here. The freelancer in a quantum jump, absolutely gorgeous. And you can see the planet approaching. That's so nice. That's so nice. Because that's not even a loading screen. They're just actually moving that fast. We've had that in the game for a long time, but it's still impressive. I'm a nerd.
Delamar, which is a sort of rocky, small planetoid, and Levski on board it is well, originally it was an abandoned mining town facility, and it was sort of taken over by the People's Alliance, which were a group of sort of anti-UEE kind of political activists during the Messer area. And so since then it's sort of evolved into a place free from sort of the boot of the UEE, so to speak, and if you kind of, as long as you don't hurt someone else, you can do whatever you want. So it's, think of it a bit like Mos Eisley, perhaps, in terms of being a bit of a den of villainy and scum. So we'll just get a bit closer to lower orbit stuff.
All right, so that was Chris talking about the planet and the port that we're about to go to, but this is I guess this is the satellite orbiting the planet that kind of directs you to the port or the landing zone. I'm not entirely sure what this ring is. It might be like a radio beacon or something. But yeah, so now they're about to show off the planetary tech, which is going to be implemented in Alpha 3.0. So Chris just explained. You can't hear him because I got the volume turned down now, but the horizon is actually like the real horizon. There's no draw distance or clipping or anything. It's like it's actually the planet is actually that size. The horizon is actually where it looks like it is, and they've also done atmospheric modeling and some aerodynamic modeling, which is super exciting for me because I have a degree in aerospace engineering. But look at that! Look at that! They've got an atmosphere modeled around the planet, and it's not like any physics-based modeling that's creating all that friction, heat stuff. That's just I'm 90% sure that that's just a pre-made animation for going through the atmosphere, but it's still cool. And now they've actually gone and done like this aerodynamic lift and drag modeling is really cool. So what the effect that it creates is that when you're flying through the atmosphere like this, you get a little bit of turbulence, which I don't know, that it's super immersive to see the cockpit kind of shake gently like this. That's so cool, because you don't get that in space. There's no turbulence in space, but here, flying in the atmosphere at higher speeds, you get that turbulence, and that is so cool. I was really excited when I saw that for the first time in the demo, the first time I watched it. Chris didn't really spend a long time explaining it. He just kind of touched on the fact that there were aerodynamic models in the game, and that you would fly better with a ship that looks more like an actual airplane with like big wings than you would in something like a Freelancer. I don't really know what fly better means. Maybe you have more control, maybe there's less turbulence, maybe there's higher fuel efficiency. I don't know. He didn't really elaborate. I don't know how their model works, unfortunately. It's probably not very realistic, but it's still really cool to see that turbulence. This was a big moment. I felt like it was analogous to when like they stepped off the crap, what's his name? Neil Armstrong, there we go. When Neil Armstrong stepped on the moon for the first time. And poor Buzz Aldrin, no one remembers him. I remember you, Buzz. You're important to me. Yeah, this was really cool. So they just landed anywhere. Like, you can land anywhere on the entire planet and just get off and walk around. That's awesome. I didn't think we would see this tech in action so soon, but they've really been pushing for it. And he can't get back on the ship because they parked on a hill and the landing pad's way too high. Or the ramp's too high. So they kind of bumble around trying to reposition the ship. An excellent use of the laugh emoticon, or whatever you want to call it. Emotes. Expressions. Alright, check this out, check this out. Look at all that dust kicking up as he's flying close to the surface of the planet. That's another really cool feature. It's the little things, guys. It's the little things, it's the details. This is obviously a really dusty, rocky planet, so I mean, CIG and all their other companies that they outsource to pay such good attention to the little details. It's fantastic. There's one little detail that they missed later in the video. I hope I remember. It's got to do with a video message that you get in the backdrop. If I don't remember, I'm sorry. I'm kind of doing this live without a script, but hopefully I'll be able to point that out for you guys, because it kind of bugged me a little bit. It's no big deal. It's just one of those things. It's like, really? That doesn't make any sense. So apparently this whole planet's surface was procedurally generated, except for this area that they're flying into. This was all like hand-drawn. Jared, pilot, Jared. Dang it, Jared, you had one job. Chris was pissed. Red one, Jared.
From the Levski control tower there. Eslan Macken is the character here.
Landing pad assigned.
That guy's dweeb.
And that's kind of
Landing pad
We're
assigned.
going to have landing and the various different things because we're going to have to control traffic in and out. And so you'll get a landing pad, you'll land, and then you'll have a certain amount of time to get out of your ship, and then the ship gets taken away to a hangar, and then the landing pad's available for someone else to land, and the same happens for exiting. If you take too long, then the screen will fade to black, and you'll be there in the airlock, just so no one can sort of sit on the landing pad forever and prevent other airlines from landing. All right, so let's.
So I thought that was a good idea. So if you take too long to land, or like something goes terribly wrong and you're just having a lot of trouble, it will just kind of move you to the airlock. You'll just kind of, the screen will fade out. It'll move your ship to where it needs to be, and you'll just kind of fade back in the airlock. Because these landing pads aren't infinite. Like, there's a finite supply of them. So if you're playing with multiple players in your server or in the immediate vicinity and you all need a landing pad and you take forever to land, it's a good thing that they just kind of make it happen so the next person can do it correctly. And this guy landed, I think, manually, which was pretty nice. I have, as I'm sure many people have, exploded while trying to land manually. I just hit the ground too hard. Of course, that was before precision mode. I haven't played much with precision mode, but I know that will help immensely. Yeah, that's a much bigger hole looking from the bottom of the landing pad up. It looked tight coming in, but from the bottom, it looks like you have plenty of room.
Especially when you try to have a big detailed world, otherwise it gets a bit lonely. So here you are. People's allowed to respect local authorities. Peace wins every time.
So this is they've kind of set this up to be for like a spaceport full of aging space hippies, were Chris Roberts' words. And the thing about the elevators is they all the elevators in Star Citizen aren't loading screens, and they're not teleporters either. They actually physically move you through the world to the location. And the reason I told you that is because I, for a second, thought this was an elevator, but it's actually an airlock. But we're going to be going through, I think, like 2 different elevators. And I could skip through it, but I'll just let it play. And well, nah, I'm gonna skip through it. It's just an elevator. Also, well, before I skip, you see these words that pop up. Chris says this is a part of item 2.0, I think he said. They're called inner thoughts. So every object in the world will kind of have multiple uses that you can kind of scroll through and choose, like requesting to land or declining to land, or accepting a mission or declining a mission, or drinking a glass of water versus picking the glass of water up off of the counter or something like that. So the way he explains it, he says it's going to allow them to add a lot more functionality and interactability, if that's even a word, to objects in the universe.
They've had here to sort of symbolize their defiance against the UEE.
Okay, I'm gonna. Well, I filled up all the empty space with talking, so I'm not gonna skip. So the point of this is they're showing that while you're in this building, you're not disconnected from the rest of the universe. This tech is so awesome. I can't even imagine all of the difficulty that's gone into doing this. But like the entire inside of this spaceport is being rendered for this player, and he's still existing in the same world as the guy on the outside of the spaceport in the spaceship flying around the outside of the building, and they can see each other and wave to each other. And I'm pretty sure the guy in the freelance was like flashing the lights on and off, or maybe that was just flying past the shutters and it looked like it was flashing. But that's so cool. I don't know. Maybe you guys don't think it's as cool as I do, but it's pretty awesome.
That's your checkpoint that you. So then, if I was flying out in space and I got killed, I'd wake up in the hospital here and live.
And it takes forever for the elevator to get here because, like I said, it was down. It was probably down like the very bottom, and it actually physically moves. It's not a teleporter. And this is kind of like an old, broken down spaceport. You can see it's kind of aged. It's got a lot of wires and grime and kind of trash just hanging around. It's in a state of disrepair. So it's kind of a slow moving elevator. And and the guy in the freelancer's showing off is following the elevator to show you that it's actually physically moving. They're trying to see. It's one thing to tell people at a game demo that something is doing something, like it's actually moving in free space, but if you prove it by showing the guy flying around outside, then it really hits home. Like you actually understand what's going on. So that's why they've got the ship flying around outside. And in my opinion, they kind of overdid it with the second one. They probably just needed to go ahead and move on to go talk to the guy in the bar. But it's still cool to see that he was upstairs, got in the elevator, saw the ship fly all the way down the elevator with him, got out on the bottom floor, and the ship's still out there. It's proving this persistence, and there's no disconnect between inside of buildings and outside of buildings. If there's a window and you can fly a ship out there, you can wave to each other. The ship can fly up to that window. That's really awesome. I'm excited for 3.0 to come out and actually do that. And it gets better. It gets much better than this.
And we look out. So, like all the landing locations that we're going to have in Star Citizen, and this will be true in 3.02, is that they'll be selling different things. So you'll come to, say, Levski to buy things you can't buy in other places, and go to ArtCorp for this, buy things you can get there that you can't get elsewhere. So, here would be probably more counterculture stuff, kind of like slightly, illegal mods to weapons or stuff that, you wouldn't normally get in sort of the authorized dealers. So this is a sort of bizarre market. Gordy's in there would be where we would go and get armor and that kind of stuff. And there were various different shops and stores around here. And this whole area...
Drugs.
You there. You are a person of good taste, I can tell.
So we'll keep going. We don't... So the proper subsumption isn't in here yet, but with that in, we'll see people moving around, doing things, coming and going, have a lot more life. But the idea is to make all the locations that you go, depending on what their sort of population would make sense, are alive, have people doing things.
Okay, so that was the grand crap. What was it called? The Grand Market. I already forgot what it was called. The Grand something. Hold on, we'll see a sign here in a second. But it's just a bunch of stores, and they've really done a great job with the artwork and the vibe. The lighting is even really good for an alpha. I'm sure it'll get better, but that just reminded me. I was gonna say something about the shopkeepers and their voice acting. Like, did you hear their accents? They've really gone for a certain vibe with this place. But this guy, the guy who plays Eckhart, I think his name is. I'm having trouble reading it on the viewing window, which is how I'm watching the video right now. But he's an excellent voice actor, in my opinion.
Sorry for the locale. Don't look like much, but the homemade stuff has some kick. Anyway, a job came in late last night. Some idiot hauler cut through low-sec space, got his crew vented. Company needs to retrieve the ship's black box to claim insurance on the lost cargo. Should be a romper job. Get in, get out. All my people are tied up with bigger ops. So I figured I could use this as a chance to make a new friend. I'll send the details. Let me know if you're interested.
So we can either accept or decline, but we're going to check the details first. So let's pull it up.
Okay, so if you noticed, Eckhart kind of he was messing with his mobiGlass, and I think later we should have been able to see the projection coming off of his mobiGlass if it was like a hologram he was messing with, or he might have just been doing it on like a touch screen. I'm not really sure. So that's a little weird. I thought that the mobiGlass was kind of like this is like with the 3D hologram. So I would have expected to have been able to see kind of the hologram coming off of his mobiGlass. But then he like flicks it in our direction, which is his hand motion. If you go back and he kind of flicks it towards us, and then we get his stuff on ours, and then we're able to accept the contract after checking the details. And you see, he just did it again, and we got our new objective. It's like he's sending it to us when he flicks it over. I thought that's pretty cool. And now we've got to navigate our way back out of this place. I kind of like this place, actually. It's really cool. My kind of people. Oh, and this I was kind of miffed when they because Chris says that there's a whole other layers of this place. There's a ventilation system. He even says there's catacombs. A lot of it's unmonitored, so you could get jumped. Like there could be gangs hiding around. So this place could be really, really fun and interesting. But for the demo, they didn't go into all that. So I was kind of miffed. I wanted to go. I really wish they had gone back into the vents and stuff. But they can't show everything off in the demo. I understand. I'm just being a crybaby. I'm just excited to play. Okay, I just want this. I just want 3.0 to come out already. But we've got to do 2.5 and then 2.6. And then they said that this should be ready to go by like December sometime. Or at least that's what I thought Chris said. So we should be looking at 3.0 towards the end of this year. We'll see if that actually happens. Release dates are notorious for getting pushed back in Star Citizen. So we'll see. But since he wants this to be released in December, that should definitely mean that we have Star Marine, the FPS module, in our hands by the end of the year. So there's the optimistic note. Even if 3.0 gets pushed back, we should have a dedicated FPS module by the end of the year. There's a silver lining, guys. Hopefully 3.0 doesn't get pushed back, though. That would suck. It'll be worth the wait. Now we've got to get back out to the ship, which takes a long time because there's the real elevator motions. It's super immersive. I would love to play this game with VR tech, like a VR helmet or something like that. I think that would be a lot of fun. Probably a Vive, because that's the best one that I've seen. The motion tracking with the head movements on that are just phenomenal.
Okay. So we're locate the staff figure, right? Retrieve the black box. Okay.
Check this out. Chris, I think it's Chris, takes off in the Freelancer before they're on. I think that was scripted. That wasn't an actual mistake. They're just, as Chris explains, they're just trying to show that they're not on rails. This is all like, it's, yeah, see, he does it again. He's just showing that this isn't,
Just showing that it isn't on rails at all.
yeah, it's not on rails. It's not pre-done animations. It's not like just smoke and mirrors. They're trying to show that this is actually like functioning in the game, or whatever build they're running on their PCs right now.
In case we get attacked, we'll have all hands on deck. Jared, remember we don't want to have the second monitor down there. There you go, thank you.
And you know when the guy couldn't get back on the ship after landing, Chris was having like a mini heart attack. He was probably like, "Oh God, we're gonna have to restart the whole thing." Like that time when I crashed into an asteroid and had to restart the Arena Commander demo. Oh man, he was probably having a heart attack right there on the stage. Almost died. Just kidding. But if I was him, I would have been nervous.
Okay, let's do the picture-in-picture. Did we lose? We didn't have...
Just flawlessly, without any loading screens, came from space, did a planetary transition flight, landed, went inside of a building, while still being able to see and wave to someone standing or flying around a ship outside the building, came back out of the building, now they're flying back into space, no loading screens. Flawless. Amazing technology. Now they've got the atmospheric effects for leaving the atmosphere.
Sort of see the scale and scope of the worlds we have. It's not small.
Yeah, right now he's talking about the scale of the world. So like we were just down there on this itty bitty spaceport. You can probably barely see it from here. I've already lost it. I wasn't really paying attention, but I've lost it. I wasn't watching. And now you've got a view of the entire planet. You really get a sense for just how small that area was. We're about to quantum jump. Oh, that was cool. Just watch the planet just shrink off into the distance.
So, small asteroid field here, and that's the last known location that we're heading towards right now.
Now, at this point, watching it the first time, the demo had already blown my mind. But there are still some things left that are super hype. I don't want to spoil anything. I totally could, but I want to wait until we actually get to that part. So just in case, I'm not really sure how editing is going to go, so you may or may not know why they're out here. That mission that they accepted, they're out here looking for a starfarer that got ransacked by these pirates. They're going to recover the black box data and have it sent off to the insurance company so that the company that owned the starfarer can collect the insurance money.
So nice shooting. Okay, one more. All right, come on.
A little bit of space combat here. They're both pretty rubbish shots with this second guy. They took the first one out really quickly, but they cannot hit the second guy to save their lives. Chris kind of gets impatient towards the end. He's like, well, this is taking a while. It's like, come on, guys. You can do it. Because these AIs were probably programmed to not be difficult. Because you'll notice they're not really doing any damage to the freelancers, just kind of flying around. So it's all for show. They were supposed to go down really quickly, but then they didn't, and it's kind of like a cringe moment. But they had an excuse to launch a missile at it, so everyone was pretty happy about that. Shooting a missile's always fun.
And by the way, I don't know if you've noticed it, but the music's been sort of changing dynamically as we've been playing. So you're actually listening to the first version of our sort of music logic system that.
Yeah, so as Chris just pointed out, the music logic system is going to be in, well, they're trying to put it in 2.6, but it'll definitely be in by 3.0. And anyone who's played No Man's Sky, they kind of had this procedurally generated music. That's not really what's going on, but they have like these pre-recorded tracks that can kind of be mixed and ramped up or down depending on the mood. and to fit certain situations. And that's pretty much what's going on with the Star Citizen music. So the music should be able to fit what you're doing, fit the mood. And like the music during planetary entry, is, or at least over near where we just came from, was really appropriate. I think it was the music of discovery. If I had to choose one word, it would be discovery. Now, if you saw where they made the Starfarer hangar ready, and then you saw any of the videos where people were touring it, it is a massive ship. And it's not even the biggest ship in the game either. I think it might be the biggest that we've been able to actually get into so far. But it's massive. Absolutely massive. Yeah, I just, like, after this, if you haven't seen anyone tour the Starfarer or like be inside of it, definitely go find a video of that on YouTube, because this one's blown all to pieces. So definitely go find an intact one and give yourself a tour of that, because it's a really, really nice ship.
There's Chris waiting for us. Looks like we can get in this way, so let's head in here.
And they find a gaping hole that allows them to get into one of these access tunnels. There's some stuff that happens while he's walking through here, so I'm just going to shut up and let it happen. Enjoy.
That's how it looks. One of the crew member that unfortunately didn't do too well. Okay, let's just push him out of the way a bit. Let's head on. Let's try to find the captain's room so we can download the block box. And so, if those of you that have a Starfarer, have hung out around a Starfarer, you'll appreciate that it's you know, not a small ship. So we're just moving around here. See another crew member that had an untimely demise. It's actually that heads the scanned version of Kyle, who's one of our IT guys in the UK office. So why don't you give Kyle a bump? Sorry, Kyle. All right, let's head in. All right. Okay, we're downloading the black box. Poof, download complete. So there we are, objective complete. We retrieved the black box. We just made 3,000 credits. Mission's now complete. The possible security job we had. And we've just now got a video message coming in. So let's listen to that, Glenn.
All right, listen to this voice acting. It's freaking fantastic. This guy.
Got the black box data and verified it. I'll send it off. Great job. You know, I'm just gonna throw this out. But I ended up talking to a couple of contacts of mine. Turns out the pack that hit that ship are squatting in an old facility on that nearby moon. I'm just talking here, but it's not crazy to think that they're keeping the cargo there. These outlaws are scum, so it's not like anyone will miss them. That company's gonna claim the insurance. So it wouldn't technically be stealing if you happen to head on down and take it. Again, I'm not saying anything here. I'm just gonna send along a location on that moon and do what you want.
That was I don't know. I really thought that scene was good. Whoever that voice actor is very talented.
Additional message, reclaim stolen cargo if we want to take it.
So now they're going to be heading down to the moon. They're going to go to the pirate base, and they're going to kick some pirate butt.
You want us to go to find the stolen cargo?
And man, all right, they're about to make an unveil. An unveil. They're gonna unveil something, which is super exciting. A lot of people have been waiting for this for a long time. Maybe not in this particular form, but even before that, there were people wishing for something like this. And now that it's finally in the game, people are, oh, whatever. You'll see it in a second. I want to spoil it so bad. I just want to blurt it out, but I'm gonna let it happen first, and then go like full geek mode. And notice all this debris and crap they've got in the hallway just to show off the physics grid inside the ship. They just want to show you that these things floating around in ZRG can be moved around. This combat scene right here was really, really awkward. Especially because that object right there is not really being affected by this guy running into it. So that's a little weird. But I don't know, this is really awkward because they're both just kind of slowly floating past the door. And the guy in the heavy banded armor is just taking so many bullets. That's definitely going to have to be tweaked a little bit. But I mean, it is heavy armor, so it would be dumb if he could have been killed super quickly. So I don't know. But it seemed like even the guy wearing like the medium armor, the first guy that he killed on the ship, I mean, he took a lot of bullets too, so a few tweaks need to be made, I think. So he's opening up the cargo, and what's this? A package labeled Drake Interplanetary. What could be inside? What could it be? It's a Drake Dragonfly. It's a space motorcycle. You might be able to hear him, but the crowd just goes crazy when they open the box and the Drake Dragonfly is inside. Yeah, Chris is excited to show this off too. He calls it the Space Hog or something like that. It's so cool. This is so cool. It's not capable of doing like space to planet transition or space to atmospheric flight transitions, but it can fly in space, and it can fly like it can do like a speeder bike mode on the ground. I don't know if it can fly like up in the sky. I think it's just like a ground vehicle or like a hovercraft on the ground, and it can also fly in space. I'm not really sure because they don't really do a lot with it in this video. Yeah, so it might just be a land speeder on the planet. But this is an open cabin space vehicle. It's a space bike. I'm so excited to get my hands on one of these. I'm tempted to get one because my friend, like I said, he has a freelancer. So if I got one of these, then I could park it in the cargo bay of his freelancer, and we could just go like orbit around a moon or something, and then take the Dragonfly down to the surface. That'd be so awesome. No, wait, I just said that can't happen. I'm dumb. Well, take the freelancer down to the surface, and then dragonfly around, like go jump some hills or something. I don't know. It'd be awesome. I'm just really excited to try this out in game. Visual glitch. So the reason that happens, Chris explains it in the video. You might not be able to hear him, but he says that if you take a ship out of the physics grid of one ship, and then you bring it out into space, and then you bring it into the physics grid of another ship, it causes it to visually disappear, like the other players can't see it. It's there, it's just invisible. So it's a little weird, but they'll address it before 3.0 comes out. That's kind of one of those big glitches that they'll definitely, that they won't let the game ship if that's a really common issue, or that they won't let 3.0 go live if that's still a really common issue. So here they go. Actually, this moon might not have an atmosphere, so it might not do the flame effects. Yeah, it's not going to, I don't think. Yeah, because our moon doesn't have an atmosphere either. It's just it's basically just a rock in space. There's no air. So with this planetary entry, there is no atmosphere. It's not even a planet, it's a moon. So they've got some pirates down there on the surface of the moon, marked with the radar. Here they go. The guy in the dragonfly is about to exit. Here it goes. And he goes into a ground mode. Falls right down to the ground, starts hovering. Excellent transition. That is awesome. That's awesome. Just everything worked really well for them in this demo, except for the dragonfly disappearing on screen for one player. Check this out. They've got the rover, or whatever it's called. The buggy. I'm just gonna call it the buggy. Just bouncing along. So this demo was a really big tech demonstration, along with unveiling a few vehicles. So it was just a really fun experience to watch. Kind of jealous I can't go to these things, because I mean, this was in Germany. It would have cost like a couple $1,000s to just go over there, like get a room and plane tickets and everything. I live in the U.S., but I can't even go to the one in Los Angeles because that would cost a lot. Because I'd still have to get a plane ticket to go all the way over to Los Angeles. So, oh well. At least there's YouTube. And Chris is ragging on Jared right now because he's not. Because like anytime they do a presentation like this, Chris spends like 70% of the time yelling at Jared to switch to different players for different camera views, and I personally find it really annoying. Like, I wish they would just give Chris control of the cameras and let him like move between the different views when he wants to, rather than yelling at Jared like the entire time. Poor Jared. But then again, we wouldn't be able to make fun of him anymore. So, you know, there's a trade-off. If Chris has control, then we can't make fun of Jared anymore. And this is another really awkward combat scene. Like, the freelancer could still be shooting, but he's not. He's off doing something else. I don't know what he's doing. He looks like he parked. Oh, no, wait, this is the guy in the rover. Okay, never mind. I don't know where the freelancer is at this point. Oh, there he is. He's just hovering up there. This is such an awkward gunfight. Because, I mean, you know, the pirates are supposed to lose. So it's like the pirate's not even really trying, and this guy's just having trouble hitting the target. But it's okay, it's a demo. And that crate just kind of appeared there. And this guy's out of ammo. Very unfortunate.
You're out of ammo.
So now the Starfarer's got to come in and clean things up because he's totally out of ammo. There's nothing he can do about it. Brought in the big guns.
Alright, well, I guess that's one way to get rid of pirates.
Give him the thumbs up.
Okay, so let's see what they were hiding here on their base. Okay, here we go. Alright.
And this is kind of what a pirate cargo hold might look like. They got the Big Benny's thing there because that's kind of like this running thing in the community if you haven't been following that. It's just kind of a community joke because everyone's trying to like put it on their ships and move it around the PU.
So let's take them out. You want to land the freelancer and let's start loading up the cargo.
This guy walks so slow.
Glenn walks very slowly. He doesn't want to drop the box.
Being very careful with that box. A smooth manual landing.
Alright, look at that.
Smooth as butter.
Back there. Let's just put the
Chris has gotten really good at landing. Not Chris Roberts, Chris the pilot of the ship. This guy this guy goes to put the box down and just drops it.
Hang on, we got an incoming video message. Let's check that out.
They're gonna have to work on that
Come out and
dropping animation. Maybe gently place the box on the ground. I don't know.
So, find anything good? If you don't mind, I'll just have a look myself.
Okay. So, like, did you notice the backdrop in that video? He's still sitting in the bar we left on the planet on Denelib or whatever. But then here he is. He just shows up. They've been double crossed. And yeah, so that was just like the little detail that kind of stuck out to me as not right. Like, unless he pre-recorded it before flying out there, that doesn't make any sense. So it probably should have been a different backdrop. Like, should have shown him like in his ship sending that message. But whatever, it's fine. It was an awesome demo, and I'm super excited for 3.0 to release in December if we're lucky, if it doesn't get pushed back. So thank you guys for watching this video. Wow, I wasn't expecting it to be this long. But yeah, so thanks for watching. If you liked it, please leave a like. I also encourage you to just go watch the presentation. It's even better a second time. I promise. I've watched it twice. And I guess 3 times now that I've made this video. But yeah, so leave a like, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Meh.